Hello projectors, Charlie and Sarah here, and we wanted to jump on and share a little bit about the energetics of what's happening in 2024 and all the way up to 2027, and how projectors more specifically are impacted at this time. What do you have to say about that, Sarah? Have you been impacted? Have I been impacted? What's been happening?
Yeah, 2024 has definitely been a healing and transformational year. And so we wanted to make this video to just send our hearts out to you. If you're a projector that is going through what feels like a disorienting time, a dark night of the soul, shadow work, all of these deep transformational places that can feel painful and hard and challenging, we wanted to just send some ease to you and let you know that you're not alone, that in this crazy world, there is some intentionality behind this, and we want to let you know why that is and why we're kind of going through the brunt of this transformation right now in 2024.
Yeah, we're currently in August, but it's been an intense time for humanity all the way from 2020. You know, ultimately that's when things started to gear up, because 2027, known as the Great Change, also Pluto returns for projectors when we came into being roughly 250 years ago. Pluto's returning to that exact point, which is a huge death, rebirth, transformation, in a real positive sense, a reawakening to who we are. And then as projectors, once we find that within ourselves, we're the guides for the future to put humanity back together with the right values, the values based in nature, in the feminine principle, in harmony, in union, all these values that unfortunately haven't really been a part of humanity so much. And you can just look out in the world and see that right now, the devastation and the polarizing opinions. And, you know, if you were looking away, if you were looking outside of humanity right now, you'd probably be like, do they know they're one species, or are they like they've got some things back to front? But that's what 2027 is, to put things the right way up, and you as a projector are here at the right time to support the great change. And for good or for bad, that will call you forth into healing parts of yourself that are not aligned in that. And we've probably taken on things from ancestrally or our environment and these things that have us a bit out of whack. But yeah, so it could be challenging at times, but it's ultimately for our liberation, for love, for our hearts to come forth and then support others in doing the same.
Yeah, one of the things that is happening in 2027, this year that Ra, the creator of human design, the one who received human design, has talked about this year, is that there's a transmutation in the solar plexus, in the solar plexus center for all of humanity, which has to deal with emotions. That's the solar plexus. And as Charlie was mentioning, you know, one of the many reasons why our culture, our society, our world has been back to front is that we have not been good in our emotional intelligence, if you will. We don't know how to process emotions. We've spent years pushing them under the rug in a more of a masculine world, right? That emotions aren't important. We shouldn't have them. And it's caused us really to block ourselves from the heart, from the place in which life is wanting all of humanity to exist from. So how does this relate to you as a projector? Because you as a projector, we are here to be the guides of 2027. And so right now, astrologically, we may be feeling the remnants or the energetics that are coming to this planet right now, pushing us to 2027 when there is this emotional change. We are most likely undergoing our own emotional transformation. All of the deep-seated emotions, memories, traumas that we have not felt because it's felt too scary to or too painful could be bubbling up to the surface so that we can ultimately be liberated from the pain that we've been feeling in our lives. And I know both Charlie and I, being a projector in and of itself, there's a lot of pain that comes with not being understood, not being seen. So we want to normalize this process. Doesn't necessarily make it easier, but that life is really giving us a prerequisite into what we are going to be in the future, which is authentic guides, which means we've done the work. We've gone through the emotional transformation. We know how to hold our emotions. Therefore, we can hold other people, generators, manifestors, when they start to go through this process on their own.
And we've gone through the dark night of the soul because humanity is about to go through a dark night of the soul. What humanity has believed to be true, to be reality, is actually back to front. It's overconsumption externally. It's I want to feel good by making my external reality something that is pleasing to my eyes, something that's pleasing to my five senses, when ultimately we need to come from within. And as projectors, we have this ability to contact this, why is projectors more sensitive? Why are we more attuned often to the unseen world, to the spiritual world, these places? Because that's part of our superpower. Yet we've come into a world, we've been conditioned, that gives huge importance to the physicality of life, the external reality out here. And that can be disorienting. We don't have the energetic reserves to keep up with the pace of the external world. Yeah, we have a superpower from within. And we have this ability to go within and to project a special frequency out into the world that is connected to the heart, that is connected to the truth, the values. And when you do that, and when you come from that beingness, then the invitations and recognitions will come from that place. So things are sort of back to front, and we're here to put things, right side up. But the dark night of the soul is in a way coming for humanity, because most of humanity has lived in an illusion that's not, based in the principles of creation, of creator. And yeah, that can be sort of a death process, speaking from personal experience, that it can be challenging, There's things coming down the pipeline that probably quite destabilizing and disorienting, but the more that we can do our work now as projectors, the more we'll be called upon by life. And then ultimately invitations, recognition, success follows. But it's not the easiest path right now. We're in a time of really wading through some of the muck.
Yeah, you're saying the dark night of the soul is coming. I think for many, we're here. This culture right now.
For humanity.
I do think it's going to go, wherever, however you see it.
I think projectors are probably here. Like if you're watching this a projector, you're probably in some form of that.
Yeah.
But I think there's still a chunk, a big chunk of humanity still thinking that the world is similar, and it's just going to be put back together quickly and we can move on like it was.
Yeah.
But I'm saying that as a whole is probably a deeper dive to come.
Yeah. And you mentioned, we're taught we're going to be the guides of the future, but even the way that we guide in the future is going to have much more to do with our energetics. Projectors, we're here to read energy. That's kind of one of our superpowers. We can read the energetic field of a room, of another person. That's how we're able to guide them. However, the way that we are able to guide is through invitation. And what creates the invitation is our energetic output, our aura. And what is the key components of this energy is our emotional landscape. And so we can have all of the wisdom. In fact, I think, many times throughout my journey of deconditioning, it's like I have all this wisdom, yet the energetics of my system were high pressured. And, truthfully, still I am working through that, working through slowing down, working through more spaciousness in my communication. But the big piece that why we could be going through this upheaval right now is that we want our emotional landscape to be one where we have equanimity. And what I mean by that is that we're not here to be love and light 100% of the time. That's impossible. But we are here to be able to have a domain, a sovereignty over our emotions, and take accountability and not project them out and blame them on another person or another species or another work. That we take accountability for our emotional reaction. We take accountability for when we're angry or when we're anxious, that we have developed a skill set, a toolkit on how to be with ourselves, so that the energetics that are being, emitted throughout our being is that of the projector essence, which is the lighter frequency, which is that of joy and presence and peace and play. And as Charlie said, has the feminine essence to it. This is the energetics that wants to come back into balance on this planet. And so swimming in our emotional underworlds, if you will, is what's happening right now intentionally. And so we hope that you take this moment and have moments where you maybe need to cry or scream in a pillow. And yes, it's hard, but you chose to be here as a projector during this transformation, which means you were given everything you need to get through this time. So we want to normalize the disorientation, the dysregulation. Life is pushing you to come into alignment so that you can be emanating your essence as the guide and not needing to speak it through the mind, but feel it and transform a room just by being in it.
I think we can leave it there. Just a little energetic update. Yeah, maybe take a few breaths after this video, just center yourself and yeah, come from within, you know, the deeper breath, the pause, the slower pace, the quietening of the mind, the blossoming of the heart. These slower principles and the energetics can start to move in the right direction, and life will be like, there's a bright light. Not in terms of like, oh, it's so pure, so just someone who's willing to look at the shadow, someone who's willing to unwind the nervous system, the conditioned patterns, and that person will be called forth to help others do the same.
An authentic light.
There we go. Okay, you made it this far, many blessings. And yeah, comment below if you would like, and we'll see you in the next video. Okay, bye.
Bye.